Let me tell you a story. There was a boy named as Karan who was in the queue for an interview to get hired as a product manager in a big tech company. Now, if I'm talking about Karan, Karan is an MBA graduate guy and he has followed each and every assignment that has been given by his academics. But his academics has had failed to teach him about confidence, and because of that, Karan is so underconfident guy. He is undisciplined, distracted, and overthinker, typical guy of a short form content era. Now he went for the interview with a hope, but ultimately he got rejected. But yes, Karan is so good at asking for feedbacks. He asked that interviewer politely that why I got rejected from this particular product management profile and what are the things I should focus on. Then that interviewer told you 5 things that they are looking in every candidate for any manager position. And those are the 5 things that we are going to be discussing in today's video. Hi everyone, this is Prathamesh Pisal in front of you. Hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Now the first one is communication. Now before we talk about communication, someone might ask why we even need to learn this particular skill called communication. But before that, let me tell you my story. Back in June 2021, I was working as a customer service executive in a BPO company. Now the company I was working with is an internet service provider company and I was in a connection process. Now as a customer executive service provider, my job role was basically solving the queries of the customers, handling their issues and make them to pay the bills because they already use the services of our companies. Now as a customer service executive, very strange thing that happened with me. Although I'm getting the calls domestically from the pan India, but I started getting calls from Hyderabad and Bangalore. Now these people only know their native language and English language. Now if I want to deal with them, I should know about English. But at that particular point of time, I was terrible at English. I can able to understand what they are saying, but I couldn't able to speak in English language. Now I learned it in very hard way about the importance of communication because my team leader basically used to shout on me on a floor in front of everyone. My peers, my colleagues are able to achieve their targets. And here I am, I can't able to handle a single customer with a basic problem to make him to pay the bills. It also slapped on my face that I'm living in a metropolitan city like Mumbai and I can't able to communicate and speak in English language. Now that was the realization moment that I had. From that day till the time I'm recording this particular video, I'm constantly looking for new words. I'm constantly looking for how I can improve my communication and how I can speak more better. Now please let me know in the comment section and rate me out of 10 how my communication is right now. But anyways, that was my story. But the point that I'm trying to making here is that communication skill is so important. It will just change the trajectory of your career and you should learn about this language. Now if I'm talking about fundamentally, communication will help you to make people understand what you have to say and what you want to say. Now to be get remembered and long last on someone's mind while communicating, you should be use storytelling in your communication. You should think how you can add the story in your content or in a topic or the point that you want to convey to someone so that they will be remember you and you will be long last on their mind. So storytelling is an important factor come into the picture when you're learning about communication. And being good communicator also help you to being good persuader. Now if you want to make people agree on your point, if you want to convince people, you should learn about communication. Now storytelling is the most part you should use wherever you are communicating. Let's say you're communicating with relatives, you're communicating with interviewer, talking about the story behind leaving the previous job. You might be dating someone, that time also you can use storytelling. I hope you got my point. But storytelling is something which you're gonna using in every aspect of your life if you want to win any kind of communication. Now let's talk about how you're gonna learn this communication. Now it doesn't matter it is a hard skill or soft skill, practice is important. If you want to learn any skill, let's say video editing, designing, web development, it's technical skills. You want to learn about negotiation, you want to learn about the soft skills that you're looking for. All of these skills can be learned by only practice. Now let's talk about how you're gonna learn communication. It doesn't matter it is a hard skill or a soft skill, practice is so much important. You have to practice this language every single day. You have to talk with yourself to be better at it. Now how to do that? Basically you have to create some circles. You have to create a group of people where you can comfortably talk. Now you have to connect some couple of people who are also desirable to be good at this particular language and make it as a platform where you can make mistakes. What happens in India, people are not able to get the platform where they can make mistake. They are so afraid about making mistakes, and because of that they are not able to improve any kind of skill. It's not about just communication, any kind of skills. And because of that, having that platforms is important. So what I mean by platform here, you have to connect some couple of people who are also desirable to be good at this particular language, and you have to make mistake in that particular group so that you will be so comfortable to making mistakes and improving each other to learn this particular skill. So that's how you're gonna learn this skill. Now the second way to practice this skill is you have to consume a lot of English content. Try to consume the English podcast, try to consume the English songs, try to consume the English movies, and just observe that how they are using the statements, how they are creating the statements for the particular emotion, and observe it, learn it, how they are communicating for a particular emotion, and try to implement it in the real life where you are having a English communication. Now to implement all of this, you have to spark some topics for discussion in front of group of people where you can have the real time conversation and where you're thinking in that particular language. Now the second way to improve your communication skill is before you speak, you should be good at writing. Now what I mean by that, there are two kinds of speakers, simple speakers and articulated speakers. Now simple speakers are the people who use a lot of words to convey their small message, and these are the people who take a lot of time to come on main point. Now these are the people who are ineffective and they are not able to create any kind of impact on their audience. On the other hand, articulated speakers are the speakers who think before they speak. They think how they can structure their thoughts in a most effective manner so that the message will be get conveyed and they will have an impact on their audience. Now if you want to be good at articulation, you should be good at writing. And because of that, I started writing from last couple of months. And I used to have this belief that the good communicator is someone who can speak continuously or who can speak fluently. But I just got to realize that the good communicator are someone who can speak in the most impactful manner. Now for that, you should be more structured and you should be more understandable for someone. And for that, you should be right. Writing is the most important skill. When you write, you try to think that how you can structure your content or structure your topic. Let's say if I'm writing on LinkedIn, basically talking about communication, I will write it down in a points. I will be having some arrow points, and that is how I structure my content. I will be having some series points as well. So that is how you can start learning how to structure your thoughts and speak it in a most effective manner. And because of that, to be good communicator, you should be good at writing. And please follow me on Instagram and give me some feedback about how I'm writing right now. And I'm currently at a feedback taking mode where I'm not sure about the things that I'm doing. So I'm asking and seeking for feedback everywhere. So please follow me there and please let me know how's my writing skill is. So that is how you can learn the communication by writing. Another thing that you can do is, for the sake of practice, is take a pen and paper and start writing about a particular topic and try to think to explain that topic in a 3 different manner, in the 3 different formats where the consumer can be understand what you are trying to say in that particular copy or for that particular paragraph. And share this with your friend and ask him about which format is most understandable for you, and take that format and observe why that particular format was chosen by your friend, and observe it, make a note and try to write more topics in that particular format. Now the second skill which is going to be unlock your potential is discipline. Now discipline is super important in everyone's life, but people associate discipline with the punishment, but it's not punishment at all. It's help you to sustain your work for the long run. Human mind love prediction. It is biologically designed to recognize the patterns. But if you don't have any kind of idea for the next, you will get into the anxious mode. Have you ever experienced this before? Whenever you complete any kind of work and you don't have the idea for the next task, then you start keeping yourself busy. You might be open your Instagram and start scrolling it. And after 2 to 3 hours of scrolling, you start feeling bad. You start feeling regret about your time that you wasted. And you start feeling anxious because you don't know what to do next. and human minds want the prediction to do, and because of that these successful people has got routines. So if you don't have routines, you don't have discipline, you're not going to be achieve your task or your goal. And because of that, discipline is so important in our life, and it helps you to build a good habits. At the beginning, you have to force yourself to do that task, even though you don't want to do that. But after some point of time, it just build a habit. If you implement discipline in your life, it has a reward unlike any other. It will give you that compound effect over a period of time. It also helps you to live that fulfilling life where you have the satisfaction of your work and you're also reaping the reward of your discipline as well. Now the question here is that how to build that discipline. Now to build a discipline, you should be having that strong why which driving you to do that discipline. There is something, a strong reason you should be having to be a discipline for any kind of work you're doing. You have to be accountable for your action to build that discipline. It shows that how much you're conscious about taking that actions to build that discipline. Now the best way to improve your discipline is reframe your self-discipline to self-love. Now what does that mean? Let's say you want to be disciplined for eating healthy things, and someday you watch a pizza. Now you want to eat that pizza, but your inner voice is saying that you want to eat that pizza, that's fine. But if you eat that pizza, you will feel bad. Okay, you don't get any kind of nutrition from that, and it's so bad for your health. So when you say yourself like this, you start caring about yourself, you start loving about yourself, and because of that you able to sustain that discipline. You want to love yourself first to do the task which is in benefit of you, and because of that, that's how you can basically build that discipline. And it just helped me a lot to eat healthy, to be accountable for the task that I have. It is the best way that I experience to improve my self-discipline and to be accountable for the things that I'm doing. Self-love. Another next skill is focus. Now focusing on one task will give you the most creative work out there. Now if you're working on any project and that working project is asking for creativity, you should be learn how to be focused. My experience is that it is way better to have that deep focus 5 hours instead of having that 12 distracted hours. It is too crucial for me to work on that important task which will give you the most out of it. Now, if you're focusing on one task, it will give you the most effective and impactful work out of it. So because of that, you should learn how to be focused for, let's say, 2 hours, 3 hours, or 5 hours continuously to get the most impactful work out there. Now, how to improve your focus? The first thing that you can do is eliminate all the distractions that you have. And most importantly, this device right here. You have to keep this device outside your working place. I also kept this device out of my room, but I wanted to show you. That's why I kept it inside. But you have to keep this kind of distraction aside you to focus on that task. Now, the next thing that you can do is start working in early morning. Now, these are the magical hours where you can actually think deeply and get that creative work done. You also have to treat yourself as a dog. Just like a dog, attain all the commands by you showing them a bone. You have to be work focusedly on one task so that you can consciously give yourself a reward afterwards. And because of that, it just helps you to build that focus and get that task done. And focus can't be getting to the one place. You have to relocate yourself sometime where you can actually get into that flow. Because sometimes whenever you work on the same place, you will not get into that flow where you can do that work focusedly. You always get into that distraction. What I observe about myself is whenever I get into the public place, then only I started focusing on my task. Till the time whenever the silence around me, I just get distracted. So that's how you have to find where you can get the focus and where you can be into that flow where you're working with that deep work and having that creative output at the end of the work. You can also use some tools and extensions while you're browsing the internets. It happens to me a lot of time whenever I'm looking for a specific video on YouTube. I'm getting a lot of random recommendation which just a lot of distraction from your main task. And I found this useful tool called Unhook. So what this tool does is basically it will just remove all the distractions and all the recommendation that YouTube has for you. And whenever you are searching any kind of term, it will just show you the list of videos only. And when you click on any kind of video, you will know that there is a slide recommendation as well, where YouTube also recommending you the next video. That also it will remove for you, and it will just show you that main video. It also remove the comment section as well, so that you will not waste to read any kind of comment. Now the next important skill is negotiation. While most of us are looking for getting that better job or to have that fulfilling career, we are not focusing on this most important and essential skill called negotiation. Now negotiation has got many benefits. Number one, it will just help you to save more money. Let's say you're going out there, you're trying to buy some things, but if you can't able to negotiate that fair price, you're ended up losing more money. Number two, it will also help you to win the conversations. Let's say you have a conversation with someone, or you try to make people angry on your point, or you want to persuade people. You should know how to assertive. You should know how to be more confident. You have to learn this skill, that how you can negotiate a conversation. Number three, it will also help you to make more money. Let's say you have an interview with an interviewer, or you have a deal with a client. If you can't able to ask for that fair price for the value that you are bringing on the table, you can't able to make that much money. And I feel that most of us are not good at negotiating. And because of that, we are not able to make that much money that we could make if you know how to negotiate a fair price. And that is why I feel we all have to be good at negotiating. Now, there are some ways we can improve our negotiation. Number one is we have to be more assertive. We have to be more confident. Now, there is a concept called 7-38-55. Now, whenever people will like or dislike your conversation by most of all three these parameters: 7% of what you say, 38% of your tonality, how you said, and 55% of your body language. And because of that, having that confident body language is most important when you're negotiating with anyone. And because of that, let's say you should have that, warm smile, and pull out your shoulder back, and have that firm handshake. Now, these practices will help you to be more confident and be more assertive about the points that you're making in front of them for negotiating any kind of deal. Number two is you can use anchor effect. Now, anchor effect is basically you're commanding a price first, and then the person in front of you have to negotiate in that particular range. Let's say you asking for 30 rupees for a product. Now, let's say if I want to negotiate with you, I will negotiate in between 25 or 35 to 25 or 25 to 20, but I will not go below 15 or below 10, because it is not making sense at all. And it also help you to anchor the price by telling the price first, how much price you are trying to sell it or you want to buy it. So that's how you can use anchor effect to hold the conversation, to hold the negotiation. Number three is you can be hard on problems and soft on person. Now, what does it mean? Basically, you have to show some empathy for that person, and you should not directly tell the prices. Let's say someone is asking you price for your services, and then you tell their prices, and that guy might be saying ki this is so expensive and you're charging more than the services that you're giving to me. Now, in this particular situation, you have to be hard on the problems and soft on that person. Let's say you can say the prices that I have is lesser than the market prices. And you can also say that let's discuss why the prices are so high. You're trying to focusing on that problem instead of attacking on that person's statement. You don't have to be refuse their statements. You have to be focused on problems and say that why these prices are so high for this particular problem or for this particular services. Now it shows that, and it gives the sense that this guys want to work with me, and these prices that he's saying is also fair according to the market and according to the efforts that he's putting in. And that is how you will get more likely yes from them. And it's just because you focused on the problem and instead of them as an individual. And that is how you can be negotiate well whenever you have any kind of deals. Last but not the least skill is taking actions. Now, taking action is so important in your life. Whenever you're planning any kind of thing to do, it will just stay in your mind if you're not taking action of it. Sometimes what happens, we plan some things and we share that plan to people. And whenever we share our goals, it just feels that we accomplish that goal, and we more likely not going to do that particular work in real life. And because of that, taking action is so important. It will just help you to get more closer to your goal. or the things that you want to achieve. Now, if you want to be good at taking action, you should be more organized. Taking action is not that much easy, but it is simple. You have to have some systems to do that. Let's say you have to do some work tomorrow. So day prior, in the night, you can write it down what you have to do tomorrow and be just focus upon it. And whenever you complete the first few tasks in the morning, you get that sense of accomplishment and you just get addicted to complete more tasks. And because of that, early morning works are super important. It could be making your bed, hitting that gym, or any kind of work that helps you to give that sense of accomplishment. And when you accomplish some few tasks in the early morning, you get addicted to complete other tasks as well. You get into that gamify mode. You want to be get level up. You want to complete that task to get a pleasure. To take actions for your work or for certain things, you have to be surround yourself with that. You have to listen it continuously. You have to think about it continuously. You have to be keep some things in front of your eye which help you to take that particular action. It can be your to-do list that you are writing down on sticky notes and stick it on your wall where you can have your eye all the time, or anything which always keep you remembering that particular thing that you have to do that things. And that is how you have to take actions. And for taking action, you should also have an objective, a strong objective to behind that. You should visualize the end results before you're taking any kind of actions. What could be the end result after I completing this work? What could be the end result if I hitting the gym? What could be the end result if I am studying it that way? And that is how you have to visualize the end results, the rewards that you will get after taking that action. And that is how you can improve this action taking skill. That's all from me today, guys. If you learn something new from this video, write it down that learning in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with the friends of yours. Do follow me on my socials at Prathamesh Pisal 2315. I also made a whole Canva series if you want to access to. And I also interviewed a Canva creator. So if you are interested to watch that video, I will pin it somewhere here. You can watch that video and learn how to do freelancing with the help of Canva. I will catch you, all of you, in the next one. This is Prathamesh Pisal signing off.